everybody, welcome to Shooting the Shit with Yankee, and as usual, I am Yankee, so let's start shooting. Tonight's topic is one that was given to me by Edgar Cortez. He wanted to hear me discuss the true purpose of the Second Amendment. What is the Second Amendment really about? A lot of people like to tie it to hunting. A lot of people like to tie it to self-defense. They like to say, well, it's about being able to defend against a tyrannical government. And you know, those people that say that latter thing, the fact that it's about maintaining a free state and therefore being able to fight back against a government that tries to take your freedoms from you, they're right. That's why the Second Amendment was created. And the reason it came so early is because, you know, they passed the First Amendment, like people can say what they want and the government can't stop them. And then they said, well, we better make it to where they can't actually stop them. So they got to be able to be armed. You know, it's kind of like say what you want, but you better buy a gun. So the Second Amendment is all about defending yourself against tyranny. It's about defending yourself against the state that has become corrupt and no longer serves the people. Now, a lot of people, like I say, love to say, oh, it's about self-defense also, and it's also about this other stuff. No, those are just side aspects of it. Those are things that come from the fact that you have a Second Amendment right. The fact that, you know, everybody has a right to hunt and put food on their table. And since you have a right to have a gun, well, then it makes sense that you can logically use your gun to hunt. You don't have to have guns to hunt. And the Second Amendment doesn't guarantee your right to hunt or anything like that. There's still hunting licenses, everything else. So it's not about that. That's just a side effect of it. And self-defense, even the courts have ruled, the Supreme Court said that the reason self-defense is a constitutionally protected right is because you have a right to protect yourself. That's legally defined. And since you do have a right to keep and bear arms at any time, the government can't tell you when you can and when you can't. Therefore, you have a right to use those arms to defend yourself. But still, the primary purpose of the Second Amendment is to be able to be vigilant against a corrupt government. It's to fight powers both foreign and domestic. And the founding fathers were clear about this. They wanted people to be able to fight back if their government started serving big corporations and ignoring the people. If the government became corrupted by religion and started serving religion instead of serving the Constitution, they wanted to be able to fight back. And so many people nowadays cheer for those kind of things. They love seeing billionaires take over the government, but that's counter to what the founders wanted. They love to see the church. We need to make the church, this country's rules, take it back to when it was, you know, based on religion. It never was. And if that was ever done by the government, that would be a reason why we would need to take up arms. The founding fathers said many times in formal documents, this country has never been based on that and never should be. The founding fathers said many times that governments such as these tend to go rogue, tend to go mad with power and stop serving the people and start serving money. And the people need the ability to take back their government, to hit that reset button. That's why I think it's so important that every single individual citizen should be able to own anything that any member of the military or these days law enforcement can have. We should be able to have, because we need to be able to have the numbers and the arms to be able to be a threat against our government if it goes rogue. It's the only thing that keeps our government from going completely insane. And they get worse every year. I don't think Donald Trump's going to change that. Biden didn't change that. Clinton didn't change that. Obama didn't change that. Bush didn't change that. Every year, things get worse. It more and more becomes where the government is corrupted by money and religion and other aspects of society that have nothing to do with our constitutional rights. And eventually we will have to take it back. Eventually there will come a day when we have to eat the rich. And that's why they are so intent on disarming us, because they know that too. And they try to give you 1,000 different reasons why they're doing it for our own benefit, but really it's just so they can maintain power. So that is the true purpose of the Second Amendment, to be able to take our government and our country back from a rogue government. And with that being said, I'm gonna go over here and see if there's anybody else that has different ideas than me over here. Dale Rickety, as usual, is the first person to chime in today. Second Amendment to me means every citizen has a firearm and is available to protect the nation at all costs, period. Yes, I don't think that every citizen has to have a gun. I mean, there's some people that are morally opposed to guns. I mean, I got no problem with that. There's people that won't kill, period. So why would they bother to have a gun? Although I always take that with a grain of salt when someone says, I would never harm anyone. Yeah, watch someone rape your wife or your daughter or something like that, and then keep saying that. If you're standing there with a knife in your hand, it could stop them, but I won't, because I won't hurt anybody. I always find that most people who say that suffer from a real bad case of comfortable life and never facing any challenges. So I always take that with a grain of salt. John of all trades, the Second Amendment, he said Second Amendment, but I think he means Second Amendment, is necessary for the security of a free state. All in all with Octopus Inc. And Phil too. Yes, I agree. Phil too. Phil is, Phil though doesn't really care so much about our rights because he just sees us as just another bunch of monkeys. He doesn't really separate us from other monkeys all that much. You know, we all look alike to him. He's like one monkey looks like another monkey. But he would tell you that, hey, you wrote the laws, obey them. And the Second Amendment is about maintaining the free state. That's what it's about. That's 100% of it. It's about you being able to maintain your rights. They enumerate all these rights in the Constitution, and they know the only way you're going to be able to keep them is if the government fears the people. Because when the people fear the government, it's too late. So the government has to maintain a healthy respect for what the people could do if they banded together. That's why they try to keep us divided. That's why so much of what you see on social media and the media itself is about divide and conquer. It's don't look at us, the real problem. Look at your neighbor. He's the problem. He voted wrong, or he believes something you don't believe. He's the one that, the reason you lost your job at the plant wasn't because your billionaire boss decided to automate or move to China. Is because, wow, those immigrants came in and took your job. That's generally not the case. Most suffering is caused by the people in control. But they want to keep us mad at each other so we don't notice that. Mark Calkin said, a lot of leftist posting on Reddit Seattle group worried about the Trump presidency are starting to recognize the Second Amendment's true meaning. That's a good thing. I do too. I think that's a good thing. Now, I'm not someone who's, I hate Trump and all this stuff. In fact, I just created a new Trump merch design. If y'all haven't seen it, it's this design right here. I'll share it with the group. It's if you're an American, he's your president. I get so tired of people saying that's not my president. If you're an American, it is. Just like Biden was, so is Trump. And I say, love him or hate him, you should be rooting for him because he succeeds, we succeed. I hope he does wonderful. I hope he's the best president ever, and we say, wow, things really got better. If not, well, then I'll call him on his crack, which I fear I'll be happening because, and I'll anger a lot of Trumpers because they get mad anytime you don't worship at his idol. But I feel the same way, that it is a kind of a good thing that people are realizing, hey, country's not going the way we want. In case things get really bad, we should be able to fight back. And that's not a right or left issue. That's an American issue. Every American should understand the importance of being able to take back their government if they need to. Because when it comes time, when the billionaires are imposing laws on everybody and telling everybody, well, these things are just for the 1% and the rest of you work for us and your rights aren't that important, we need to band together. It ain't going to matter whether someone voted for somebody with a D or an R or an I after their name. It's going to matter that you're part of the 99% that isn't deemed worthy by the government. So, I agree with Mark Calkins, and that was Mark Calkins that just said that. I don't know if I actually clicked on it there, but I have now. It's up there now. A lot of people, it takes the right circumstances to make them recognize why the Second Amendment is so important. And that looks like that's it for everybody chiming in on the other side of the aisle. glad we could cover that topic today. You all know how I think. I don't really hide how I think. Unfortunately, it drives off a lot of viewers. That design I showed of the pro-Trump design, I lost two patrons over that today. I didn't just lose two patrons, but two of them in their exit review said, I can't support you if you support Trump. I didn't support Trump in that. I just said that everybody should hope that he does well. I don't support any politician. I think they're all pieces of shit. But, people are very judgmental, very divided. And eventually, like I said, we're going to have to unite. And that's when the Second Amendment will be more important than ever. So thanks everybody for coming tonight. Thanks for everybody for participating that did participate, even though there was only a few of you tonight. Once again, I think I was right. I think everybody agrees with me. No one challenges me yet. Like I said, I'm waiting for those people to come in with differing opinions. I love to hear differing opinions. So if you think you agree or feel differently about things than I do, let me know in the comment section of this video or come to the live chat. Let me know live. You can even come in the chat. We can have a little discussion face to face. We can even make a video out of if you want to. If you've got a channel, you've got a different opinion, we'll make a video. You can post it on your channel. I like to welcome differing opinions. I like to have people be heard because sometimes I think when people hear each other out, they find out that maybe neither one of them was 100% right. And maybe they each become a little more correct. So thanks everybody for coming. Thanks to those who participated. I'll see y'all again tomorrow. Keep your eyes open for the chat to open up tomorrow. I open it usually 2 to 3 hours before we start. And the topic for that evening's discussion will be right there on the title card. So keep your eyes open for that. Otherwise, I will see you tomorrow. And until then, remember, always carry and stay safe until I see you again.